Today's hottest music, Hot 103. You're chilling with your boy Henry G on a Sunday afternoon. All your favorite Latin hip hop and oldies. Right now, I'm joined by Snow the Product. Snow, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining me.
Whoop, whoop. Thank you. How you doing?
Real good, thanks. Now, early on in your career, you were going by the name Snow White. Recently, you've shortened it, Snow the Product. Tell us where the name comes from and how you chose that as the name to go by.
Well, I mean, really, the whole Snow White thing was just like a princess thing. You know what I mean? Like, my friend and I didn't really have any artist names, and it was just kind of like something funny, you know. And then the product really got added because, you know, artists are products, and our music is sold and stuff. And I wanted to make sure that I never forgot that, you know, my music is a part of me, but at the same time, like, you know, Claudia is always going to be real, and I'm always going to be here and stuff. So, you know, it's Snow White, the product, really worked for me, you know, but Disney didn't agree. So we just cut it short to Snow the Product, and F Disney for that.
All right, and then you recently signed a deal with Atlantic Records. Congratulations on that, first of all.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
From what I understand, there were a few different labels trying to sign you. Why did you decide to sign to Atlantic Records, and also talk about the music that you're making at this point in your career?
I mean, the music is always going to be the same. You know, it's all me. It's just progressing and just getting better and finding my groove and, you know, my artist stuff. Like, it's just natural progression as an artist and creatively and stuff. But, I mean, I chose Atlantic because it just seemed like the right move. Like, I met with a lot of people. I got a lot of phone calls and stuff, and it was all good and everything, but it just made a lot more sense with Atlantic. You know, they kind of understood more what I was trying to go for. So hopefully we can make some good records and make some good stuff happen.
Today's hottest music, Hot 103, your boy Henry G here with you on a Sunday afternoon. Special guest Snow the Product, recently signed to Atlantic Records. We got more to talk about. We're going to get into the track. It's MC Magic's track that you're featured on with Twista. I think you go bar for bar with Twista on this track. Obviously digging. Give us the story behind it and tell us what it's meant to you.
Man, honestly, that was crazy because I just, you know, I spoke to MC Magic. A promoter named Romeo hit me up, and he was like, hey, you know, I think you should talk to MC Magic, blah, blah, blah. And I spoke to him, and Magic was like, look, man, you're talented. I'm going to put you on this. Like, F it if you kill me on this. He's like, I don't care. I want you to rep. And I was like, I really respected that from him, and I'm always going to respect that because a lot of men are you know, they take girls off tracks if they go harder than them, or they don't want to be outshined, or they don't want to this, or they don't want to that. And he was like, I don't care, you know, just do it. And honestly, like, I think we all added our own flavor to it and our own style, and it ended up being a really good collab. So, good thing.
MC Magic featuring Snow the Product and Twista. This is Diggin' right here on Hot 103. Today's hottest music, Hot 103. Your boy Henry G here with you on a Sunday afternoon. Special guest Snow the Product. Now, Chick Jones out in Lawrence, Kansas wants to know who your musical influences were.
Man, everyone from like Missy Elliott, Timbaland, Lauryn Hill, Eminem, Outkast, you know, even to, I mean, Shakira and Lupita D'Alessio. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so broad. The spectrum is so big because I am Mexican-American, and I'm not just a Chicana. It's like I'm really Mexican-American. Like, I have both cultures, and I really looked up to big singers and artists like Juan Gabriel and like Antonio Solis and stuff like that. So, you know, it's just very, very out there.
The next question's from the Facebook. It's from Candace Roy out in Oklahoma. She wants to know how old you were when you realized you had a gift.
Well, I mean, ever since I was little, like, I've been very hyperactive and singing and dancing and doing all kind of stuff. So, I mean, since I was like 3, like, my parents would have me sing at people's parties and all kind of stuff. Like, it was just like the thing to do. Like, oh, mira la Claudia, she's gonna sing, you know. So it was like weird. I've always kind of just done this. But when I was around 17, I really was like, all right, I think I'm gonna do this rap thing. So, yeah.
Felicia Hernandez from right here in Las Cruces, also Arcelia out in Des Moines, Iowa, want to know what it take to get you to do a show out in their city. They're both real big fans. I know you can't really speak on specific cities, but what would it take for you to go out to their city and do a show?
That's what we're working on right now, you know, and the best way to do it is, like, really just request me. Your local clubs, promoters, whoever. I mean, we do this really on an underground type, you know, indie type touring thing. So if you just request me and they keep hearing the name, we're going to go to your city. You know what I mean? But we are working on hopefully some tours and some cool stuff lined up. So just, you know, just keep spreading the word, and I'll get there.
Anything you'd like to say to the young Latinas or just the young females in general listening right now?
Well, to the young Latinas and I mean all the young females, don't believe the media, don't believe all that stuff. Like, you don't have to be a particular thing or look like a particular person to be hot or to rep, what you got going on or whatever. Like, honestly, at the end of the day, it's all about you, and you don't want to get old and be like, dang, I lived most of my life trying to look like this person or that person. And you just want to be you, and if it's fun and if it looks good and you want to rock it, it doesn't matter if it's at, Saks Fifth Avenue or if it's at, the thrift store. You rock that and you make it your own and you look hot in it.
If you could work with anyone in the music industry at this point, who would you most want to work with and why?
Honestly, I would want to work with Timbaland, or I would want to work with Aaliyah or Lauryn Hill. Those are some of the people that I really, really listen to a lot of their stuff, and it was dope.
Any shout-outs you want to give?
Shout out to my product pushes. Shout out to WakeyGameUp.com, all my product pushes, and shout out to all my woke and everybody that supports me.
I know you got a new mixtape you're about to release. Tell us a little bit about the project, who you're working with on it, and what your fans can expect from it as well.
Good Nights and Bad Mornings is a project that I'm dropping soon, and it is some craziness, It really explains my story right now, which is you have your good nights where you're performing and you're doing shows and you're doing all kind of crazy stuff, and then you have your bad mornings where you have to wake up and check out of the hotel and get to the flight and go to the next city and, just really working. So whether you're doing the music thing, or you're just going to a 9 to 5 and you party at night, it's like, everybody has their good night and then their bad morning.
Henry G here with you on a Sunday afternoon. Special guest Snow the Product. More with Snow the Product on the way. First, here she is. This is Latin Girl on Hot 103. Today's hottest music, Hot 103. Your boy Henry G here with you on a Sunday afternoon. All your favorite Latin hip-hop and oldies. But of course, right now, special guest Snow the Product. What do you believe you bring to the music industry that it's currently lacking or missing?
I mean, I feel like a lot of times, like, the girls, you get the super hot girl, or the singer, or all kind of stuff, you know what I mean? And it's like, I feel like sometimes us girls that feel like we're out of place or a little awkward or just like don't necessarily fit in that dress like that girl does, we kind of don't, we get snubbed, we don't really get represented, and I'm just here to represent for all them type of girls that like, F what you think is hot. Like, I'm going to make this hot, and if you can agree with it or not, but I'm just going to keep on going, So that's what it is.
Now, throughout your career, how do you deal with the skeptics and the critics that say you don't sound Latin or you don't sound like a Chicana?
I think that's really dumb. And honestly, in the Latin community, that's really what's holding us back, is a lot of times Latin people hating. Latin people hate on Latin people before everybody else does, and that's what the problem is. You know what I mean? Like, I'm Mexican-American. Soy mexicana, hablo español perfectamente, you know what I mean? And that's never going to change. So it's one of those things where you can't tell me I don't sound Latin. I am Latin. I'm Mexican. You know what I mean? Like, you can't take that away from me. The fact that I went to school in Mexico, the fact that I know more history about Mexico than a lot of these people that claim they're this or they're that, it's very, like, it's weird, Stop doing that. Stop hating, like respect the fact that I'm representing my people and that I'm doing it in the way and in the flavor and in the style that I feel represents me, and that's it. Not everybody's in lowriders right now. Like, not everybody's wearing Cortezes. I wear Cortezes from time to time. I also wear Jordans. I also wear Nikes. I wear, Chucks. It's a lot of. It's not limiting our culture and representing it the way we want to rep it,
Right, and then you've got a big fan base out here in Las Cruces. A lot of people have been following your career for quite a while now. What do you want to say to all your fans right here in the 575? That
I love them to death, and that my product pushes are really all I'm doing it for. It gets to you know me, Henry, like, I've been doing this for a really long time, since MySpace days. And it's like, it gets to a point where everything else is just a blur, and it's just, between the haters and the bloggers and the this and the that and the social networks change and everything. But the one thing that doesn't change is the fact that my fans are there for me and they love me and I love them back, and I hit them up, constantly, and we're growing, you know what I mean? And one day, hopefully, we'll be able to be on a bigger platform and everybody will recognize, and I'll always remember those people that always held me down since the beginning. So it's WakeyGameUp.com, and it's all my product pushes, and it's Product ENT, and it's everybody that's been there with me,
How hard is it being a female in the music industry? And talk a little bit about what you've had to overcome to get to where you're at.
Being a female, I mean, I almost don't even want to say how hard it is just because, like, I've said it so many times, but it is. I mean, it's hard. There's a lot of double standards, just like in anything. And a lot of times, girls are looked at as, instead of being a strong woman, sometimes you're just looked at as being difficult because you don't want to go with certain people's vision. But it's like I have my own idea of what I want to do, and I don't want to sell out, or I don't want to do some crazy stuff that some people want me to do. So, sometimes you have to stick to your guns and be like, look, I'm sure I know what I'm doing, and just respect my vision, and, it should go good. A lot of times when you don't want to sell sex, it makes your career a lot harder as a female, but it's just something that you have to be strong about.
And then what do you want to say to all your fans out here going through their daily struggles, but at the same time aspiring, working hard to reach their goals and their dreams?
Man, I just want to say hang in there, man, because we all go through that, and we all have our bad days where you're just like, man, F this, I don't want to do this, but it's like, if it's your real dream and it's your real goal, like, nothing should hold you back, and nobody should. And as corny as it sounds, like, you hear it all the time, really, but it really is. And take it from me, like, I go through struggles every day still, you know what I mean? But it doesn't hold me back from keeping going, because, I have a lot of people that I'm representing, and even though, like you said, I get some of that flack for, oh, she's not this or she's not that, I'm representing Latinas in the end of the day, and I want to make sure that they're repped right. So, just keep it pushing.
And we're about to get into your track, Hola. Before we do, any last thing you want to say to all your fans right here in Las Cruces?
Thank you very much for everything, for all the support. And if you haven't checked me out, make sure you go to wakeygameup.com, check me out, join the product pushes, follow me, and, to all my Latinos out there, make sure y'all support each other, man. Don't be the first ones to hate on another Latin person, because there's a lot of us out here, and someone's got to make it. So make sure that you support your local Latin person.
And then go ahead and introduce the track for us.
Hola, man. Make sure you get into Hola. I'm repping for y'all on this one. I'm speaking some Espanol, so y'all make sure that y'all bump this and pour up some Patron and some vodka.
Snow the product with Hola right here on today's Hottest Music, Hot 103.